always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jessica, and I'll be sharing some of the top entertainment news that you just need to know right now. And guys, it is a slow news day in entertainment, but don't worry, I got you. I will give you all the news stories that you need to know. But before I do that, it is another autumn day. It is a little gloomy. I have my tea, but I did do something exciting today. I went clothes shopping, and it was interesting, I guess. So I am one of those crazy people that switches out. I switch out my closet twice a year. So I will have all of my cold clothes in the closet for the winter and all the warm weather clothes in, obviously, for like spring, summer. So in the beginning of quarantine, when the weather changed, I cleaned out my closet and I donated all of the clothes that I'm no longer going to wear. And I was looking at my jeans, and a lot of them had holes in it. So I had to throw away some jeans. I donated jeans. And at the time, I was like, wow, I am losing a lot of clothes right now. I'm going to have to really buy a whole new wardrobe come fall, but that's okay. It's so far away. Well, here we are. So when I went to go pack up all of my summer clothes and bring out all of my fall winter clothes, I had just like one little like under the bed storage container. And I opened it and I was like, oh my God, I literally have nothing. I have like 2 blouses and I have 1 pair of pants, and that is it. Like, I have nothing else. I mean, I have plenty of like blazers and like cardigans, plenty of those, but as far as just like shirts go, absolutely not. The pants that I have are dress pants. They're not jeans. They're nothing. So I had to go clothes shopping. So last week I kind of got started and I bought like a few pieces. And then today I was like, I need jeans. I absolutely need denim. I have no denim. So, and women's clothing sizes are just all over the place. It's like 5, 7, 9s or, 2, 4, 6, and then, or it's by measurements, and even the measurements aren't like the same it's just so strange how women's clothing are numbered and sized. It's so ridiculous. So yesterday I ordered a bunch of clothes online, and again, it was like just playing roulette. I was like, but we'll see if it fits. So today I went out and actually tried things on. Thank goodness Nordstrom Rack lets you go into the dressing room, try some clothes on. I know not every store is allowing that right now. So I was able to try some things on. I bought some clothes. I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm telling you, like 7 months of wearing sweats and just like biker shorts and oversized tees. I am really excited to put jeans back on and to put clothes back on and to feel like a normal functioning human. I am very excited about it. So I hope I can wear my clothes soon. So we'll see. So that has been my day. Oh, and I bought a pair of mom jeans, and I've heard people saying like mom jeans are back, but I've never tried mom jeans on, and I tried them on and I actually like really liked it. And you know what? It's 2020. Literally anything is possible. So this is the life we're living. So anyway, guys, that is my story. Thank you for sticking with me through that, talking about clothing. But like I said, it is kind of a slow entertainment news cycle. In the beginning of the week, we had like the Emmys, and that was super exciting to talk about. And now it just kind of slowed down. And so finding stories that are like super important was a little difficult, I'm not going to lie, but I think I narrowed it down to the stories that you absolutely need to know about. So we're going to be talking about like happy baby news. We're talking Vanessa Bryant. We're talking Selena Gomez. We're talking Matt James. And at the end, I'm going to do a Dancing with the Stars recap for you. And then finally at the end, like it's fall. I love getting cozy, have a nice glass of red wine and just like sit on the couch with my fleece blankets. And I like to watch a good movie. And so I'm going to be sharing with you today my top 5 favorite movies of all time. So these are movies that I can just put on and enjoy no matter what mood I'm in. It's just, these movies just give me that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. And kind of like when we used to have cable television, if you're like flipping through the channels, if one of these movies were to be on, I would stop what I was doing and I could watch starting from any point in the film. So that's how I categorize my favorite movies. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss that. But now I think it's time. I think it's time we should just dive on in and talk about some happy baby news. Let's start with a huge congratulations to Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik as they welcomed their baby girl into the world. Zayn posted to Twitter an adorable black and white photo holding the child's hand with a caption, quote, "Our baby girl is here, healthy and beautiful. To try to put into words how I'm feeling right now would be an impossible task. The love I feel for this tiny human is beyond my understanding. Grateful to know her, proud to call her mine, and thankful for the life we will have together." Hadid also posted a very similar picture to her Instagram account saying, quote, "Our girl joined us Earthside this weekend and she's already changed our world. So in love." I mean, the black and white photo of holding the infant's hand is kind of the only way celebrities seem to be announcing the births of their children. And I'm okay with it. I think these pictures are just so sweet and so adorable. And of course, they're not going to want to show the face of the baby. So just like a little sneak peek of the hand is, all we really need. We don't need much else. And it just exudes love and happiness, and it's exciting. And this baby, who we don't have a name for yet at the time of recording, the nails on this child, already amazing. Already amazing. So stinking cute. And as far as like Gigi Hadid and her pregnancy go, like I can't tell if she has been pregnant forever or if this was all just so quick. She got pregnant. I mean, the rumblings of her being pregnant happened right before the pandemic or right when the pandemic started. So it's been like March, April. So it's like 6 or 7 months. And this year has just been so crazy. I'm sure it was kind of nice though, being in the public eye, like being such a supermodel and getting pregnant right before a pandemic. Like she really got to enjoy that time by herself and not having the pressure to go out or to be in the public eye and not having to do like the extra work to stay private. So this was, in a way, such a blessing. I'm sure she spent a lot of the time on Yolanda's farm right here in Pennsylvania. So peaceful and quiet. And she really got to enjoy the time of being pregnant. So I'm just so happy for them. I'm sure Yolanda is just over the moon. I can't believe this whole quarantine, lockdown, pandemic. The year really is flying by, you guys. So congratulations to them. So happy. And I cannot wait to hear what the name is going to be. Next in happy baby news, Mandy Moore is expecting her first child with husband Taylor Goldsmith. She shared to fans on social media, quote, "Baby boy Goldsmith coming early 2021. She wrote alongside photos of Goldsmith cradling her little growing baby bump. "I feel like it was just yesterday that I saw Mandy Moore open up for NSYNC with her hit song, Candy." Does anyone remember that song? It was such a hit back in the day. I mean, that was like the sugar pop of pop songs. Like that was as sweet as it gets. But I'm really happy for her. Mandy Moore has had such an incredible career, and her being pregnant and to be a mom, I grew up with her. I was 13 when Candy came out, and I'm this old now, and I've watched her blossom from a teenage pop star to an amazing working actress. And side note, I saw someone post this on TikTok, and I don't know who it was, so I can't give the credit. I don't know who to give the credit for, but someone posted this on TikTok, and I cannot agree more. They pointed out Mandy Moore's performance in This Is Us and how all these points of a character's life that she plays. So like she'll play the teenager or the young adult falling in love, and she plays the engaged woman, and then she plays, a young mom giving birth to triplets and then losing a child. She plays a middle-aged woman. She plays someone who lost her husband. She plays like a 70-year-old woman. Like, she plays this character at totally different age points in this character's life, and she is yet to be nominated for an Emmy. And I never really thought of it that way, but this TikToker was right. Like, Mandy Moore absolutely deserves an Emmy for her performance in This Is Us. Tell me another actor who does that for a primetime television show. It's no one. It is absolutely no one. It is Mandy Moore. It's her and her alone, and she deserves a trophy for it. So we will see. We'll see what happens next year, Emmys, but I'm on to you. I'm on to you. So in the words of the late Billy Mays, there's more. There's more baby news. So Vanderpump Rules stars Jax Taylor and Brittany Cartwright are also expecting their first child. The couple, who wed in her native Kentucky in June of 2019, announced the baby news on Instagram, saying, quote, "Mom and Dad, the love of our lives is coming soon," Cartwright wrote, and Jax coyly wrote, "So I'm going to be a dad." Their baby, like I said, their baby is due April of 2021. Cartwright goes on to say, quote, "We had been trying for around 5 months, and we just can't wait to grow our family. I had the ovulation sticks and all the apps, and we were ready to go. I woke up super early to go to the restroom and just had a feeling that I should take a test, and it was positive. I cried, I laughed, we were just so happy. Then I took 3 more tests and cried some more." So she is currently 11 weeks pregnant. So congratulations to them. There's so many Vanderpump babies on the way. Lala Kent and Randall Emmett are expecting, and so is Stassi Schroeder and Bo Clark. Stassi's 5 months pregnant? I mean, it's this whole new generation for Bravo. So bravo. Like, they're going to have a bunch of little bus boys and girls running around the restaurants. So I never really, I'm going to be honest, I never really got into Vanderpump Rules. I think anyone who knows me knows that I absolutely love Lisa Vanderpump, and I love everything that she does. However, I could not get behind watching a show about the restaurant industry because I worked at a restaurant a majority of my life. So I don't want to go to a restaurant, live the restaurant life, and then come home and watch people live the restaurant life. It just wasn't for me. It was just something I could not get into, even though I wanted to. And I hear so many good things, but I'm very happy that the cast is, they're all getting pregnant together, and they're all going to have babies together. And those babies are, hopefully grow up being friends. Then who knows, maybe Lisa will have a spinoff with the babies in the future. Who knows? So congratulations to everyone who is having babies, expecting babies. Everyone, I guess they had the time during the shutdown to really focus on all of this, all these little bundles of joy. So yay, I just wanted to start I'm sure you can hear Wilson right now. So I guess someone is at the door, but that means it's time to take our first break, guys. We will be right back. We're talking Vanessa Bryant and more.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now, don't bother, what's hot on Netflix, and everything in between. That's gsmcpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back, my friends. The dogs have calmed down, so let's move on with the show. This segment, we're just going to kind of bop around all over the place. So we're going to start with some pretty sad and upsetting news, but Vanessa Bryant is responding to her mother's comments about their relationship after her mother gave an interview claiming that her daughter kicked her out of her home. This week, Bryant's mother, Sophia Lane, claimed in an interview with Univision that the 38-year-old forced her out of a family home as well as made her return a car that she used. So Vanessa made a statement to People in regards to everything that was going on, saying, quote, "My husband and daughter passed away unexpectedly, and yet my mom has the audacity to do an interview on TV talking negatively about me while shedding tears about a car and home that wasn't in her name. She has removed all her diamond jewelry, emptied her apartment that I provide, and put the furniture in storage to appear as though she is without support. My husband and I have financially supported her over the past 20 years, and I continued to do so, in addition to her monthly alimony. Contrary to previous reports, she has not been physically present or emotionally supportive for my daughters and me after my husband and daughter passed away. Going forward, I see what is most important to my mom, and that is beyond hurtful. I hope this public airing of our personal relations will stop here." So, as we all know, the late NBA star and their second eldest daughter, Gianna, died tragically in January in a helicopter crash along with 7 other people. This story is just so sad. Everything about Kobe Bryant's passing and Gianna and everyone on board that helicopter, and then everything, the aftermath is just so absolutely heartbreaking. I don't wish any of this on my enemy. It's terrible. And it's so heartbreaking when hurt comes from the family, especially a mom, someone who's supposed to nurture you and love you and support you. And you know what? A mom, just because it's a mom, they don't always do, and that's really heartbreaking. My heart goes out to anybody who has a rough relationship with their mother or father. So Vanessa is doing the best she can. I'm sorry that she was hurt by someone who was supposed to be close, and that just really sucks. To find out that your mother only cares about money above everything else. And Vanessa's you've clearly already done so much for this woman, and she's still not grateful. And to go on television and air your dirty laundry is just sickening. The only thing I can think of is I'm wondering if her mother got some major money for that interview. I don't know. I am just speculating. But everything about it is just so terrible. It's so awful. And I am wishing Vanessa and her family just nothing but the best moving forward. And you don't need that type of negativity in your life. And does it hurt to cut it out? Absolutely. It absolutely does. But she's going to be better off for it down the road. I absolutely promise. Oh, it's just so, so awful. So we're going to switch gears completely and go on to the next little piece of news, something I'm very excited about. Season 23 of The Bachelor has finally begun. So Matt James is on his way to find love. His season is starting to film right now, right here in Pennsylvania, which is really exciting that they're so close and yet oh so far, but not really that far. They're just in the Poconos at Nemacolin Woodlands Resort. So Claire's season hasn't even aired yet, and there's so much drama around that. I am so excited for her season to start, and I cannot wait to see Tayshia take over, and I'm just beyond excited. It has been far too long since The Bachelor has been on. I need it in my life. And the fact that we're already filming the next season before this season even airs is literally just, it brings my heart so much joy on these dark and gloomy days. I'm really curious to see the type of women are going to be on the journey with him. They haven't released anybody, which I'm kind of surprised it hasn't leaked yet. I went online, I looked, I haven't really found anything. I didn't get as deep as Reddit looking for any clues of who the women were, but I am excited to see who he is going to bring into Bachelor Nation, who's going to be the fan favorites, who's going to be the villain, the quote villain. I really hope that the women are a little older. I understand the allure of skewing younger, but at the end of the day, when they're younger women, for the most part, and this is going to be a little controversial, they don't really know 1,000% what they're looking for. And that's not every woman. I'm just saying, like, as a general umbrella statement, you have to go through a lot and you have to date and understand what you like, what you don't like. And the point of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette is to find love. At the end of the day, that's what I like. Do I like a little drama on the way? Of course I do. Of course. I mean, if every season could be like a Jason Mesnick, I'm okay with it. Like, make your mistake. But at the end of the day, it was one of his final two. He just made a little mistake, but they made it work. So that's what I like to see. I like it when it's all neatly wrapped in a bow at the end, sealed with that Neil Lane kiss. Like, that's all I want to see. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen there, and I will report, but still we have to get through Claire's season, Claire and Tayshia. So I'm excited for that to start. That starts next month, and I cannot wait. You best believe I will be recapping with you guys. And then finally, in this just like little random news segment, Selena Gomez is sharing her kidney transplant scar. I'm reporting on this story because I think Selena Gomez is just such a light in the celebrity world. She does not get caught up in just beauty and lip fillers and the perfect eyebrows and the perfect hair. Like, she's so true and honest, and I really respect her for that. She uses her platform for good, and I just stan. She's wonderful. So, you know, in a world full of Facetune and perfection, be a Selena. The scar is located like on, I think it's like the right thigh, like the inner thigh. And I'm not going to lie, my thigh hurts just looking at it and even just thinking about it as I am reporting on this story. I cannot imagine the pain, like not only of lupus and the fact that she needed a kidney transplant, like that aside, just the pain of the recovery time of a surgery like that, I cannot even imagine. And if I can't imagine that, then I surely cannot imagine everything else that I had just mentioned. And I think not a lot of people think about that. Like, you see these pictures of like post-surgery and you're just like, oh, yay, and they'll clap your hands. But really, there's a lot of recovery time involved, and that is very, very painful. And that part of the thigh, oh my goodness, it hurts just thinking about it. Anyway, so the picture posted on Instagram, it's like her in a blue bathing suit, and you see the scar. And she captioned it, "When I got my kidney transplant, I remember it being very difficult at first showing my scar. I didn't want it to be in photos, so I wore things that would cover it up. Now, more than ever, I feel confident in who I am and what I went through, and I'm proud of that. Man, and I read that like there was like a complication and they had to go through like an artery in her leg to like fix like the placement of the oh my gosh. Modern medicine is so incredible. My nana's, like, side note, like totally unrelated, but it has to do with modern medicine. So my nana had to get surgery. She had a brain bleed, and because of her age, they couldn't like cut her open. And so they were just like, well, there's this other surgery. It's like brand new. And we basically go in through a vein in your wrist, and we just like got it all the way up to the bleed, and we patch it up that way. And we're just like, oh, cool. Like, how many times have you done it? And just like, about a dozen or like half a dozen times. And we're just like, oh, all right, doctor, go ahead. And you know what? That doctor was amazing and stopped my Nana's brain bleed. And Nana is still with us today. So that is exciting. But anyway, I was just like fascinated about the fact that you can like go in, like look at your wrist, right? Or like look at your leg and be like, all right, I'm going to put something in a blood vein and go to another part of your body. It just really, medicine just absolutely fascinates me. It really does. Maybe I would go to like med school or something if I could do it all over again, or like be a nurse. At least study it. I just think it's absolutely interesting. But anyway, I'm on a tangent about medicine, and this is an entertainment podcast. So back to Selena. I think she is such a wonderful role model, and her Rare Beauty line, I think I gave it a lot of crap when it was announced, and I take everything back. Like, I rescind all of those statements. It is getting such great reviews. I mean, I am the first person to say that I am having like celebrity fatigue of everyone coming out with a makeup line. But Selena, like, she seems to have some staying power. There's a lot of amazing reviews for Rare Beauty. Her liquid blush is supposed to be fantastic, and it seems to be a fan favorite overall. And I'm not going to lie, like, all of this marketing and all the TikTok reviews, they're working on me. So I think the next time I do a makeup run, I am definitely going to grab some Rare Beauty and put it in the bag. If you've tried Rare Beauty, let me know. Let me know what you think of it. Reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram. I would love to hear your reviews. So anyway, that is it on some of the random news. Like I said, it is a very slow news cycle in the entertainment world. There was some news that I didn't want to like touch on because I said I wasn't going to talk about that person again. So I'm not going to talk about that person again unless I absolutely have to. So end of the week, we're just chilling, we're just vibing, we're just having just a relaxing podcast with some kind of relaxing news, I guess. So anyway, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, I watched Dancing with the Stars this week. I hope you did, because I am going to be recapping the second episode of Dancing with the Stars and revealing who got eliminated and sent packing. And then after that, we're going to go through some of my 5 favorite movies of all time. Again, these are movies that I could watch. I can start watching at any point of the film. These are movies that whenever I'm feeling like sad or happy or like any emotion, I just want to put something on that I like. These are my top 5 movies that I am going to pick. So you're not going to want to miss that list. You guys, we will be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
welcome back to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Jessica, and I am here to recap Dancing with the Stars. So you guys, Dancing with the Stars was on this week. It was the second episode and the first episode where we had an elimination, and I have some thoughts. Of course I do. I always have an opinion on something. It was good. That's what I'm definitely going to say that about the show. It was good. It was definitely better than last week, especially Tyra Banks, kind of. She definitely seemed a lot more comfortable this week. She was still nervous. I don't think she's used to live TV at all, and that shows. Am I happy that she is the new host? No. I don't think she's wonderful host material, at least not yet. I think putting her on such a big stage right off the bat was a mistake. Like, this girl needed some more practice before getting to Dancing with the Stars. But whatever, it's fine. There's nothing I can do about it. I am merely a podcast host. I have no power in that world. The formatting of the show was very interesting in the fact that the judges didn't say anything. I thought that was like kind of stupid because they give guidance and they help the dancers out and the celebrities out, the stars. But no, Tyra had to ask questions, and I get it. Like, I get you want to connect the audience with the people dancing. That's fine. I get where that thought comes from. In execution wise, it was not working. The fact that Derek couldn't even give a pointer to some of these dancers was just ridiculous. I want to hear what the judges have to say. I want to agree with them. I want to disagree with them. I want their personalities too. That's also why I'm watching. I'm watching to see these celebrities dance. I don't really need to get to know them. I just want to watch them dance, but I want to hear the judges, and it's just silly. So anyway, so the start of the show, Tyra Banks comes the start of the show, she's trying to get smize to be a thing. Like the whole model thing, okay, whatever. And then she struts out like she's on a runway. Like, she's really living it, really playing up the fact that she's a model. We get it. You smize, you strut a runway. Fantastic. This isn't a modeling show. This is a dancing competition show. So and then she says that she wants smize to be in the dictionary. Because the word catfish is in the dictionary, but smize is not. And if this is all just a campaign for smize to get in the dictionary, I'm going to be very, very angry. So anyway, let's start with our first dancer, Neve. He is fantastic. I didn't think that I was going to like him as a dancer. I'm absolutely obsessed. I think he could win it. He is so geeky and dorky, and I am not mad about it. He did such a wonderful performance. He was so great last week. He's so good this week. He got 7s across the board by Derek, Bruno, and Carrie Ann. And I guess since it was the beginning of the show, the judges were allowed to speak, so they all kind of gave a critique of some kind, and he did great. He got 21. He got 41 out of 60. He has a high score. He seems like a fan favorite. He's going to go far. I think he might win. I'm not going to lie. Or he's definitely top 3 material. I will be very surprised if he is not top 3. So he did great. Sky, she did a samba to Miss Independent. So she came out with super high energy. She did have a small slip, and that's to be expected because she tried to put her leg on top of a super tall dancer, and it just didn't work. But she came back from it. And the judges were overall super encouraging to her and super kind to her, and they understand that these mistakes happen. And again, Derek gave probably one of the best critiques by saying setbacks set you up for a comeback. And that is a motto that I just want to live by. Setbacks set you up for a comeback. Just look at yourself in the mirror whenever something goes wrong in your life and just say that to yourself over and over again. And it really feels good to say. Say it again. Setbacks set you up for a comeback. Derek, I love it. Look, you're a dancer, you're a motivational speaker. I'm loving every single bit of it. So she got 5s across the board. A lot of people seemed unhappy with that scoring on like the Twitterverse, but I thought it was pretty fair. She had a mistake. You can't just give her a great scores because you like her. Is she a good dancer? Does she have high energy? Absolutely. And all 5s isn't terrible. Like for a mistake like that, I think with other dancers, some of the judges would have ranked lower. So all 5s across the board. Episode 2, not terrible. She didn't have a terrible score. Like overall, she did great. So Johnny Weir came out. He did the tango to poker phase. He was fantastic. He's the figure skater. He's going to be great on the dance floor. Was it the best of the night? I didn't think so, but I love his energy. I love him, and I love how much of a go-getter he is. He definitely was on The Masked Singer before. So he is not afraid of these shows. He is an entertainer in his soul, and I really like that about him, and you can see that in his face and in his movements when he dances. He does a great job. And then now this is kind of where the show started to like gain momentum in the fact that no one was allowed to talk except for Tyra Banks. And so he got 6s across the board. And then was the judge from Cheer. She did a phenomenal job. So she did a I forget what Taylor Swift song she did. I was cooking at this point, so I couldn't really I didn't really take that many notes, but she was so cute and so much better than the week before. I loved her outfit. I loved her energy. She was definitely so much more comfortable, and kudos to her for being better than the week before, especially with all this news about Jerry that's been coming out in the media. I can't even imagine her emotions during all of that. And she still just knocked it out of the park. She has the discipline in rehearsals. Now it's just about the execution. She's doing phenomenal. I didn't get her score, but she's safe. Spoiler alert, she's safe. But she did such a good job. I think she's going to be a dancer, a star that we see start from one place and just grow and evolve into a beautiful dancer. So I'm excited for her. AJ from the Backstreet Boys, and now this is coming from an NSYNC girl. He was so cute, so adorable. I'm totally an AJ fan now. I can't say that I'm converted to the Backstreet Boys. I don't think that day will ever come, but AJ did such a phenomenal job. He is such a true showman. He has that boy band hamminess when he dances. It really kind of comes through, and he just seems like such a genuinely nice guy, and I root for the nice guy. I do. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. He did a wonderful job. He got not the best scoring though, so I wasn't too thrilled about that, but whatever. And then speaking of nice guys, Nelly, I am obsessed with. He seems like one of the nicest men on the planet, and I would do anything to meet him. He seems so sweet, so genuine. His dancing, he's so adorable, the little smirk that he gives. And I noticed this too. I noticed it last week, and then I noticed it this week, and I'm really glad that they addressed it. But I was like, how is he wearing sneakers? And Tyra did ask him about it, and they're actually a custom covering to make his dance shoes look like sneakers. And I think that is so on brand, and it's so genius, and only Nelly. I absolutely am obsessed with it. I really want him to go far. He did such a good job. You can hear me probably turning my paper because I did all of my notes old school with a pen and paper. Chrishell, she definitely had a comeback this week. She was fantastic. She was confident. She was sexy. She was beautiful. I'm like, girl, get it. Move the hips. She just did such a good job. She got 6s across the board. I think it was a little low. I'm not going to lie. I definitely think that she's up there. She probably should have gotten a 7 or so. So she had a score of 18, bringing her score for the 2 weeks to 31. But she came out of the gate just so good this week. And as long as she keeps that momentum going, it'll be wonderful. And then there was Charles Oakley, who, what a precious gem of a wonderful human. What a great attitude he has. He's just he was just so cute and so positive. And they got straight 5s, which is an increase from last week where they had 4s across the board. This week they had all 5s. And the fact that he was so excited for all fives, just was so beautiful and heartwarming, and I loved every second of it. I actually rewound because I watched it on Hulu, and I watched that reaction to all fives again. It was so pure and sweet. I just warms the cockles of my heart. So then we have Justina was fantastic, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really watch a lot of hers. Like I said, I was cooking dinner, but Justina like caught a glimpse. She's just like such a performer. She mentioned that when she was a kid, she wanted to be a singer. Like she found a note, and that was so cute. And then she goes on, and she, like the smile on her face, like she really plays it up, and you can tell that she is enjoying every single second on the show. Like she can go home tomorrow and she'll be just like grinning ear to ear, like thank you for the experience. Like what a genuine person. I love it. That's the thing. I'm liking a lot of the celebrities this season. And Haish, another beautiful dance. Like she's so graceful. She's kind of like, she's the one, like she's a big name, but not a big name. I don't know how to describe it. Like everyone knows Anne Heche, but I can't tell you what Anne Heche has been in. And I feel like that's a lot with people watching her. They have kind of like that same thing. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I know the name, but But anyways, she's very graceful. I don't want to say she's the underdog because I do think she's going to go far. Definitely top 3, I believe. And I think she'll be top 3 because the judges are going to keep her in. Then we have Carole Baskin, killed her husband, whacked him. She somehow got the most insane set for her performance, and the judges absolutely the judges absolutely noticed that. Like the whole budget was just blown on the set for her performance. I don't know why they're throwing so much money at Carole Baskin. I am so confused by it. Like why? Someone please from ABC, Dancing with the Stars, come tell me why Carole Baskin, you're throwing so much money her way. I don't get it. And again, I really want to reiterate the fact that the judges have zero time to say anything. At one point, Derek literally said, good job, because that's all the time he had. I don't understand why the 0 seconds. So fix that. Fix that for next week. And then finally, Caitlin Bristow, who we didn't think was going to dance because she had an ankle injury. Caitlin Bristow does dance, and she does such a beautiful job. The judges did get to speak, and they said, Carrie Ann was like, if this is you dancing with a hurt ankle, I can't wait to see what you can do without the hurt ankle. Her dance was absolutely beautiful. You know, this is Caitlin's day in the sun. This is her dream. She has wanted this. You know, people from The Bachelor wouldn't let her do it, and now she's doing it. So good for her. She's beautiful. She's exquisite. Who knows? She might win too. She's definitely top 3 as well. I think there's some politics involved. So because she is a bachelorette and Hannah Brown was a bachelorette, she won last season. I don't think they're going to let 2 bachelorettes win back to back. But, you know, I'm a cynic. So I think there are politics in here that are at play to see how far. I think she'll go far. She'll be top 3. Who knows? Maybe top 2. Will she win? I hope politics don't get involved, but whatever. We will see. We'll come back to this episode for reference. So yeah, and then it came down to elimination, and this is where things got a little crazy, my friends. So the bottom 2 were Carole Baskin and Charles Oakley, and I think they said it was a tie. So like the judges had to pick who had to go home. And that I didn't like how that ended. I'm not going to lie. So Bruno was the only one who was on the right side of history. I was very upset with Derek, but they decided to keep Carole Baskin and send Charles Oakley home. And here's why I think they kept Carole. Ratings. I think they believe that Carole Baskin is bringing in a lot of eyes. It's either that or they really bought into her story. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of did too. I feel bad for her children who, when Tiger King came out, obviously there was so much negative press about Carole, and her children don't even like saying, like when they meet people, like who their mother is. And I get that. Like, that's really sad, but it doesn't take away the fact that you're a pretty shady character. Shady. I said shady. A shady character. And we need some answers. So, but, you know, if she is innocent and, you know, innocent until proven guilty, she has had a rough go of it, and us public can be cruel. So I understand the tears, and I get that. And I think maybe that worked in her favor with saving her. But again, Charles Oakley was just a precious gem of a human, and he should have stayed, because I would just love to see his positive attitude week after week. He was so wonderful. So that's it. We are one down and several to go. Like I said, I really like a lot of the stars this season. So I am sad when people are going to start to go. I really hope Nelly never leaves us. He's so wonderful. So that is the recap of Dancing with the Stars. So if you missed it, now you know everything that you need to know. Next week, ABC, I am begging you, please let the judges speak. Derek is such a gem, and I want to hear what he has to say. And on that note, Derek, you are so good. He could be the next Ryan Seacrest. He is so wonderful. I love everything that he has to say. I will listen to anything that he says if they give him a chance to speak. So that is it. Tyra Banks, you did a better job this week than last week. Just do better next week. I understand that it's difficult, guys. We need to take a short break. When we come back, I am revealing to you my top 5 favorite movies of all time. You're not going to want to miss it. BRB.
Golden State Media Concepts bring you Book Review Podcast, a haven for bookworms of all ages and the widest genres, from mystery to memoirs, romance to comedy, fantasy to sci-fi. If you love to read, this is the podcast for you. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Book Review Podcast.
And welcome back, my friends. Again, I'm so sorry for the slow entertainment news cycle. I will hopefully have some much juicier stories for you next week, but this was still fun. I love recapping Dancing with the Stars. I also just finished Selling Sunset, and I have so many opinions on that, but maybe I'll talk about that a little bit on the next podcast. I finished that today, and I can't stop. I didn't want to like it, but now I just can't stop thinking about it. And I didn't want to talk about it, but now I do want to talk about it, but it's not the time to talk about it. So maybe the next episode. But for right now, we are down to my favorite part of the episode, where I get to share a little bit of myself with you. These are some of my 5 favorite movies of all time. I'm pretty sure it's top 5. It's definitely number 1 and number 2 are definitely there to stay. The rest are, I don't want to say interchangeable, but they're definitely on the list. And when I make the list, it's really hard, but 1 and 2 are definitely there. Anyway, these are movies that I will put on if I am happy, if I am sad, if I'm flipping through the channels and it's on TV. I will stop what I'm doing and I will just watch, and I will just love it. But, we don't really watch cable TV anymore, and I'm not really flipping through channels anymore. Everything that I choose to watch now is very deliberate, and I go to it on Netflix, Hulu, or Prime, or whatever I'm using, and that's what I actually go to watch it. So these are movies that I will gladly go to watch as well. If I want to have a relaxing movie night, have some wine or some hot tea, some chamomile, and just relax. These are the go-to movies. And I think it says a lot about a person what their top 5 favorite movies are. Mine don't really, I looked at this list, I'm like, wow, there's not really a comedy on here. There is one that's, that's top 5 material, but it is, and I will explain why. So I would love to hear what your top 5 favorite movies are. So please don't forget to share them with me. You can reach me at Twitter or Instagram at GSMC_entertainment. I am there all the time. Please come say hello. Let me know if you've seen any of these movies, or share your top 5 favorite movies with me. So anyway, let's just get kind of down to it, and let's just chill, talk, relax. I have my tea with me actually right now as I do this segment. So number 5 is Forrest Gump. I love this movie. I think a lot of people have it on their list of favorite movies. It is so good. This is definitely the movie that is years ago when I would flip through the TV like at night or in the afternoon and Forrest Gump was on. Like I stopped and I watched. It's such a good movie. It's such a good tale. The older that I get, the more depressing and weird it definitely is. Like Jenny is such a shady character, but I just love Forrest and I love the message that Forrest like gives, and it's just so entertaining. Tom Hanks is just a genius. He's so good. He is such a gem of an actor, and I love him dearly. And it's just an iconic, beautiful, beautiful performance by him. Run, Forrest, run. I love how they got him into all of these historical moments. It's just this weird American history, and just it's sweet and it's heartwarming. It's a great cast, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Forrest Gump. Oh, Gary Sinise is in it too as Lieutenant Dan. There's just so many iconic moments from that film. It's hard to pick just one. If you don't like Forrest Gump, then I'm actually concerned about your taste. That's all I have to say. Like, what don't you like about Forrest Gump is the question. Number 4, this is the one that I don't think a lot of people have in their top 5, but it's definitely in mine. It is Jurassic Park. Now, I love this movie so much, and I love the music about it. The cast is fantastic. So what I like about it is the time of my life when this film came out, I was in elementary school, and I remember it was like such a big deal, and I have vivid memories of people like in the classroom talking about it. So it just brings me back to being a baby, and I saw it in theaters. My dad took us, and it was such an experience to watch on the big screen. And even now when you watch it, the film itself looks so good. Like the dinosaurs, the CGI look fantastic. And if you my husband and I were actually talking about this. We talk about it more than we should, but like it's just shocking. But if you watch movies with CGI today, some of it looks terrible. The CGI looks awful, or there's like too much CGI and it doesn't look good. But the CGI used in Jurassic Park is so minimal, and it's the beginning of CGI, but it looks so much better than so many things look today. And I think part of it is because it was a mixture of also using puppets. And so many of the dinosaurs are actually puppets as well, and they actually built them. And that's what makes it look so real and so compelling. And just it's the moment when they're in the Jeep and it's raining and there's no electricity in the park, and you see the water on the car, which was used for a scene earlier, and the thumps, and you just see the water vibrating. Like, what a beautiful, iconic cinematic moment of the T-Rex, and how heavy those feet are on the ground. It's so good. And then the running away. It's just such a fun movie, and it's not that long of a movie. And it's just one of those films that I love to just like put on and just watch, and it's good every time. It's just good every time. The cheesiness of the movie gets a pass because everything else about it is absolutely genius. And it's so good. It's so good. I have no other words. I have no other words for it. Number 3 is Sunset Boulevard. Now, I know I talked about Sunset Boulevard a few podcasts ago. This is one of my favorite movies. It's an accidental favorite. I watched it in a film class, and it changed my life. And I loved it so much that I went to the library. I rented it out. I brought it back to my apartment, and I showed my roommate because I knew she would absolutely love this film. It's a classic. It was, I believe, filmed in 1949, released in 1950, black and white. It's such an interesting, different story about how an actress in the silent film world, she was a star for silent films, and how she couldn't really adjust working in the talkies. And it's really, and then it's about like a writer and how he wants to break it in Hollywood, make it in Hollywood. And it's so good. And the actor in it is William Holden. And the other day I was watching my Nana and we were together and I bring my iPad with me. And lately we've been just watching I Love Lucy, which is wonderful bonding. And we were at the episodes where the Ricardos and the Mertzes go out to California because Ricky gets contracted by a studio to work on some films. And so they get there and Lucy wants to meet all of these celebrities. And she decides, you know what, let's go to the Brown Derby where they all probably have lunch and maybe we'll spot a few there. So her and the Mertzes go and this guy walks in and sits at the booth next to them. And I'm like, oh my God, he looks so familiar. And lo and behold, it was actor William Holden. And he played such a likable character. And I don't know why that just filled my heart with so much joy. But it was just... I love the movie Sunset Boulevard, and we get so much like classic iconic moments from that film, like I'm Ready for My Close-Up, that comes from that movie. But I don't really go and search the actors and like find other work. I don't know why I don't do that. I probably should. But it was just fun to see this actor from this movie that I love. Now, like seeing him in a show that I love, like I haven't seen this episode of I Love Lucy since I was probably a child or an early teenager. So I had no idea who he was at that point. And now that I just watch him all the time in Sunset Boulevard and I love him so much in that film. And then to see his work in I Love Lucy was just such a treat. And he was such a likable character that I just really hope he was that likable in real life. And then I got sad. I was like, I will never meet Lucy or Desi or William Holden ever in my life. They are just these characters, you know, in my head. They're these people on these screens that I'm never going to meet. We're never going to get new news about them. And their day has come, but they're just like cemented in these films. And there's something about that I really, really kind of love. So for that, just this moment in time that is Sunset Boulevard, please, if you have not seen Sunset Boulevard, do yourself a favor and watch it. It is such an entertaining film. It is so good. It will probably cement itself in my number 3 for sure of all time. Number 2, this movie changed my life. It was an awakening for me as a teenager. It has been with me through college, and it even inspired my hair when I got married. It is Titanic. This is, and I will fight anybody who says otherwise, one of the greatest movies ever made. And you can argue with me, you're gonna lose, but like, it is one of the best movies of all time. Just, it's so good. It's such a great film. Yeah, are there mistakes in it? Of course there are. But I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, just the most beautiful pair in the world. I love this movie. It is so heartbreaking. I used to watch it if I wanted to cry. Like if I was depressed or upset about something and I wanted like a good cry, I put on Titanic. Like Mr. Andrews, the most heartbreaking goodbye ever. And when you see him again at the end of the movie, when her spirit goes back down to the Titanic, it's just so beyond that. It's just so, it breaks my heart every single time. It is so good. I stand this movie. Cal Hockley, I love him. I absolutely love him. My friend and I actually once got into a discussion about how Cal Hockley is just a misunderstood man. And that is for a podcast down the road. I would love to do a segment of, maybe I'll do that. Maybe next week or sometime I'll do a segment of like misunderstood movie characters. But yes, Cal Hockley, I think, was just misunderstood. So this movie is so good. I love it. 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 So many iconic scenes, so many iconic moments. I feel like, though, there are a bunch of Gen Zers who don't really like this movie as much as I think millennials do. And I kind of have a problem with that. I'm not going to lie, because I want to tell you I want them to tell me what the flaw is, because there is none. So if you have a critique about this movie, please tell me, because I will fight you, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with fighting when it comes to the movie Titanic, one of the greatest movies of all time. And if you come to me with something like Twilight, like, don't do that. Don't waste my time, please. I don't got time for that. And number 1, on the list of the greatest movies of all time for me, it is the movie Amadeus. This is one of my, if not my favorite movie in the world. So this is a film that not a lot of people have really seen. It is critically acclaimed. It's based off of a play. It is it's not about Mozart, but Mozart is a key theme of the film. It's the story told through his rival Salieri, and it's about his fight with his God. And it's told through Mozart, and it's just such a beautiful story. I have written so many college essays on it. I mean, so too many to count, honestly. It's always a thesis of mine. I love exploring it. I love digging into the themes of the film. It's so beautiful. My dream in life is to meet Tom Hulce, who played Mozart. It's just, the performances alone are just out of this world. It's definitely a slower paced movie, so you definitely need to have patience watching it. It is definitely on the longer side. I watched it when I think it was 6th grade. Okay, so this is what happened. So it was either 5th or 6th grade. I don't remember exactly which, but in elementary school, we watched a movie about Beethoven. And I came home from school and I told my dad, I was like, hey, we watched a movie about Beethoven and it was really good. And my dad goes, oh, and he was a big movie buff. I mean, every Friday, well, he is a big movie buff. Every Friday he would go out and rent a movie for us to watch while my mom worked. So he goes, oh, you like this movie about Beethoven? I go, yeah. He goes, all right, well, I'll be right back. And he went out that night and when you had to go out and rent a movie, he rented Amadeus and he brought it home. And again, I'm like 5th or 6th grade. Like, I'm a kid. And I put it on and I sat in the living room and I watched Amadeus. And when it ended, I got up, rewound the tape, and I watched it again. Again, I was like 5th or 6th grade. I was little and I loved it so much. And it really, really stuck with me. And, F. Murray Abraham won for Best Actor that year for his portrayal of Salieri. He plays young Salieri and he plays old Salieri. And when you learn more, I did a lot of digging and a lot of research about this film. So when you learn more about how it's made, you definitely have a greater appreciation for it. So, for example, for his makeup as an old man, whenever he would sit in hair and makeup, his facial hair would be a little longer, just a little bit, as you see it grow, as the film goes on, because he tells this story overnight to a priest. He's like repenting his sins, and he tells the story overnight. So as these scenes go of him as old Salieri telling the story, you see the candles go down. So the lighting is changing in the room as the night goes on and dawn approaches. And then you also, his makeup, his hair gets like a little bit longer every time there's like the present day scenes of him as an old man. So that's really fascinating. I love all of the heart that goes into the movie. I watched the movie. I've seen the play. I have like a book about the movie. I'm such a fan. I'm such a dork when it comes to that film. It is my favorite. So if I could ever oh my goodness, if I could ever meet Tom Hulce or F. Murray Abraham ever in my life, like that would be wonderful. Oh, and I did see a movie. Oh my goodness, I'm like losing my mind. I'm clearly getting tired. I saw a Broadway play, and oh my gosh, I'm terrible. What's her name? Cynthia Nixon. So Cynthia Nixon was also in Amadeus, and she was the maid. So then she was also in a play in New York City, and my husband got me tickets to this play because Ewan McGregor was in it, and we all know Ewan McGregor is my favorite actor of all time. He's so handsome. I would do anything for him. So we had to go to the stage door, and I had to meet Cynthia Nixon, not for her portrayal of Miranda in Sex and the City, but because she was in Amadeus. And here I am, like, And I don't know if she was like freaked out or like weirded out that I was like, I loved you in Amadeus, or like thought I was like that fan trying to say something different. But low key, like I don't like Sex and the City. Not a fan. I live for the movie Amadeus. It is my absolute favorite film. So yes, I am telling you, Cynthia Nixon, that I loved you in that movie. It was my favorite movie as a child. It continues to be my favorite movie. The themes of the film, let's talk about genius, what it means to be a genius, fighting with your God, whoever that God may be. Like, it's just so, so good. It's so deep. It's everything intellectual. I guess I just love it. I love everything about it. So anyway, guys, I am rambling on. I need to go eat. I need to drink some water. I just, it's been a day. So you guys have a wonderful day, guys. Until next time, I am Jessica, and thank you for listening to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I would like to ask you to please remember to subscribe to the show and write a beautiful, glowing review that really helps us out. Also, if you can please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find me at GSMC_entertainment. Guys, I would really appreciate it. Swing by, say hello. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in with me. Have a wonderful day, night, morning, whatever time of day it is by you. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.